Hello everyone, this is BanglaWash here, back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about the important settings you need to apply after downloading PUBG PC Lite, like graphics settings, sound settings, control settings, etc. If you are new to the game or planning to download it and want to get better at this game, then you should watch this video till the end. This is the first part of the series video. After watching this video, you will learn which graphic settings will be better for you. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Before we get into the main part, just want to say PUBG Lite is being launched in India maybe at the end of this June. If you haven't downloaded this game yet, then please don't forget to check out the requirements of the game. Get into the PUBG Lite website, the link will be in the description. You can see the minimum and recommended requirements here. If the game hasn't released yet in your country, then you can go into the description. There's a link how you can download this game using VPN. So guys, don't forget to check that out video as well. So when you finish your download, then come back to this video again. I think graphic setting is the most important in this game. If you can spot your enemies, then you will have a better chance to win a fight. And spotting the enemies totally depends on the graphic setting. If your device is not so high, then you will have to play in lower graphic settings. But if you have a decent PC or a moderate PC or a gaming PC, then you can play in high graphic settings. But high graphic settings will not allow you to spot the enemies very quickly, as there will be too many places for them to hide. So there is a fine spot in between. I'm gonna show you right now. If we go to settings, the first thing we see is the graphics tab. For display setting, I use this full screen window mode because I live stream on PUBG Lite regularly and it helps me a lot to change to one window from another. But you should definitely use full screen mode. Do not use window mode. It sometimes lowers the performance in low-end PC. For resolution, I use 1280 and 720 cause I have a 720p monitor. It totally depends on which monitor you have. If you have a better monitor, then go for 1080p or maybe even 2K. Camera FOV is really very important thing. If you lower the FOV, you will see the enemies very close to you, but you will miss out a lot of viewing area around you and it will be harder for you to spot the enemies. Again, if you change your FOV very high, then you will spot enemies better, but it will be really hard for you to shoot them. So I think 90 is a sweet spot and I have always used this in all other FPP games I played. Brightness totally depends up to you and your monitor. You should lower it as much as you can cause it will affect your eyes in the long run. The FPS will be set up 144 by default. You can change it to 300 if you have a good PC. But if you're playing on a laptop or a budget PC or any PC that has very old parts in it, then you should change it to 60 so that you get better performance. When you are trying to get the maximum 300 FPS, then it might get hiccups and it might give you some performance issue, which will cause FPS drop in mid-game. So 60 FPS will be really good for any laptop or old or lower spec PCs. But if you have a gaming PC, then go for the 300 FPS. Screen scale must be put into 120, otherwise it will look blurry and spotting the enemies will be harder. If you have FPS drops, then try lowering it to 100 but not less than that, because it will be really hard for you to spot the enemies if you lower this furthermore. If you put your graphic settings so very low, then it gets very blurry and spotting enemies is harder. It also doesn't look very great. If you put your settings to ultra, it looks really good, but still there are lots of places people will be able to hide out. So if you put your anti-aliasing in lower, then you can see the edges and it's a little bit better this way. But still there are lots of shadows around and people will be able to hide under the trees and near the rocks. So if you change your shadows to very low as well, then this is a really good setting, cause there will be no shadows for the enemies to hide under the trees or near the rocks. So you can see the nearest to the farthest trees, you can spot the enemies very easily. Foliage and view distance doesn't change very much of the outlook of the game. If you change them into ultra or very low, it doesn't affect very much. But you should change your texture into ultra, and if you reduce it, then it looks like this, which is very blurry and very bad. Spotting enemies in this condition will be really hard. So try putting textures as high as you can. So the best settings for an average PC will be this. But remember this, you may have to compromise the settings depending upon the PC specifications. Now last but not the least, the VSync is very important thing. Turning on VSync just limits your FPS to the maximum limit to your monitor. Like I have a 60Hz monitor and it limits my FPS to 60. In low-end PCs and laptops, changing it may not have any effect in viewing, but it might cause some FPS drop. So uncheck this. So that's it, that's how you change your graphics settings. The next video will be in control settings. This was the first part of a full video. So guys, don't forget to check out how you should change your control or your sound settings. I'm gonna make videos on all of those. And lastly guys, don't forget to join me when I'm live. I try to help you guys as well when I'm live. So if you have any questions or any problems, you can ask me when I'm live. I'll try my best to help you guys out. More quick tips videos are coming. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if this video was informative and it helped you to get a good graphic setting. Thank you for watching this video. That will be all for today. See you guys in my next video.
Go.